Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're taking a pretty wild journey down a massive digital rabbit hole. We're going to explore how one creator, Ahmad Raza, takes these incredibly complex scientific concepts, mixes them with huge existential theories, and basically captivates millions. If you've ever found yourself scrolling late at night, suddenly questioning the literal fabric of reality, well, you know exactly the kind of content we're talking about here.
So let's just dive right in. Imagine scrolling and suddenly getting hit with this. Is Earth a prison planet? I mean, whoa, right? It's a massive, deeply unsettling idea. But it's exactly this type of bold, reality-bending question that just yanks an audience out of their everyday routine and drops them right into this space of wild imagination.
And honestly, the reactions to these questions are just priceless. Take this one TikTok user, Sadiq, who just dropped a sticker that says, "My brain." And that hits the nail on the head. It perfectly captures that totally disorienting, yet thrilling experience of plunging into these intense, mind-expanding topics online. It's basically that feeling of your worldview being stretched to its absolute limit in under 60 seconds.
Section 1. TikTok's Sci-Fi Rabbit Hole. We're going to start huge with the mysteries of the cosmos and then progressively shrink all the way down into the paradoxes of the human mind. But before we hit the heavy science, we gotta talk about the comment sections, because they are delightfully chaotic and hilarious. It really gives a much-needed human grounding to these wild theories, you know? Like, you've got people saying, "Brother, I feel like you were an alien yourself." Or there's this playful debate over whether it's Area 41 or Area 51 by. User Acropin perfectly sums up the whole vibe with, "My head is spinning watching your video," while others just cynically dismiss the whole shebang with, "Everything AI." The community interaction is honestly half the fun.
And this right here really shows what actually works in this space. When you compare engagement by theory, those grand existential themes like the prison planet absolutely crush it, pulling in over 11,000 likes. Time travel sits somewhere in the middle with almost 4,000. But when the channel tackles more grounded textbook physics like time and entropy, well, engagement plummets to just 542 likes. It really tells us that the audience is hunting for awe and mystery, not a college physics lecture.
Moving right along to Section 2, Aliens and Prison Earth. Time to look up at the stars and dig into some claims about human evolution and alien technology.
So to unpack that whole prison Earth concept that racked up 11,000 likes, we have to talk about Panspermia. Basically, this is the hypothesis that life exists everywhere in the universe, and it gets distributed by space dust, meteoroids, and comets. The creator essentially takes this incredibly complex jargon and breaks it down into an accessible idea to suggest that, hey, humanity's origins might literally be out of this world.
But here's what's super interesting, the critical thinking it sparks. As one user, DarkAnime999, aptly noted, there are differences between theory and truth, and that's absolutely crucial. Just to be totally clear, in this explainer, we're just looking at the fascinating claims these videos make. We aren't endorsing them as fact. The channel blurs the lines between science and sci-fi for entertainment, and honestly, the audience is usually savvy enough to recognize that gap.
Of course, talk about space long enough and things get, well, a little fringe. When you open the door to questioning human evolution and alien tech, you inevitably pull people deeper into other internet lore. Just look at this comment from user Maham. "We are in a dome and Earth is flat." It's wild how quickly a discussion about astrophysics can snowball into completely different territories.
All right, Section 3, Time Travel and Entropy. Let's see how we build from the vast cosmos down into the very fabric of reality itself. Remember that chart from earlier where this topic only got 542 likes? Well, time and entropy might sound like an epic sci-fi movie title, but it's actually foundational physics. Entropy is basically the state of disorder and randomness, and it's quite literally the reason time only moves forward. It's a really brave attempt by the creator to simplify the absolute core rules of the universe for a casual scrolling audience. But you know what people do love? Breaking those rules. Enter the classic grandfather paradox. You travel back in time, prevent your grandparents from meeting, and because of that, you're never born. So wait, how did you travel back in the first place? Exploring these kinds of mysterious forces gets the audience super engaged. User WolfXJanny even jumped in to argue that light has no past or future. It's great, because it gets the viewers actively theorizing right there in the comments.
Section 4, the quirky quantum realm. We're now shrinking way down from the macro flow of time into the highly unpredictable, microscopic world of quantum mechanics.
Welcome to the truly weird side of physics, quantum entanglement.
This is a phenomenon where particles become so interconnected that whatever happens to one instantly influences the other, literally regardless of distance across the universe. Now, even though this specific video only got 274 likes, quantum entanglement is a crucial, totally mind-bending piece of the puzzle here. It challenges everything we think we know about how space and distance actually work.
And it actually gets weirder. The channel also dives into concepts like the quantum Zeno effect or the observer effect. The big question, does simply observing reality freeze it? It leaves viewers genuinely questioning if just watching a system changes how it behaves. And this one performed way better, bringing in over 1,900 likes, probably because it implies that our very own eyes have the power to alter the physical world.
Naturally, the deeper into the quantum weed we go, the more skeptical the audience gets. This comment from user Yogesh Badu, by making his own theory, provides a much-needed moment of comic relief. I mean, when genuine science sounds like literal magic, you really can't blame viewers for wondering if the creator is just making the whole thing up as he goes along.
Which brings us to Section 5, Illusions of the Mind. For our final descent, let's leave the physical universe entirely to explore the paradoxes of human consciousness.
Now, this concept was a massive hit, pulling in over 3,200 likes. It's called jamais vu. It's basically the eerie feeling of experiencing something totally familiar as if it were completely new or strange, like the opposite of déjà vu. Defining jamais vu really hits a nerve because it connects these lofty ideas, like parallel universes, directly to a weird psychological glitch viewers might have actually felt in their own living rooms. It makes the abstract suddenly feel very, very personal.
So, the crucial takeaway here is how these psychological glitches fuel discussions about our own autonomy. It forces us to ask, are we actually making our own choices, or are we just running on a matrix script? The creator leverages these mind tricks to discuss the matrix slave paradox and Nikola Tesla, ultimately making viewers question the very nature of their reality and free will.
But check out this really fascinating piece of data. 133. That is the exact number of likes on a video that actually tried to directly answer the question, what is consciousness in Hindi? Just think about that for a second. Out of all these wildly popular videos about the mind, the second you offer a direct, concrete definition, engagement totally drops off. It's living proof that sometimes we vastly prefer the thrill of the mystery over the certainty of the explanation. Which brings us to the very end of our journey today. I want to leave you with this final thought to ponder. Are we actually navigating a physical universe governed by strict rules, or are we mostly just exploring the illusions of our own minds? Keep that rattling around in your head the next time you find yourself scrolling late into the night. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and stay curious.